when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Tobago Updates Morning Show. I am your host, Renessa Ortiz, and it's a pleasure being on your screens this morning. We just came out of the weekend, and we want to wish you a bright week ahead. It is Monday. It's an opportunity to refresh and restart and achieve those goals. I am joined in studio by Alex Brown. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Renessa. Good morning, viewers.
How are you?
I am alive and thankful. How are you?
I am great. How was your weekend?
It was an interesting weekend. Some happy times, a little bit of sadness. Had to attend a funeral over the weekend, but altogether it's been a good weekend.
Awesome. I spent this weekend engaging with Girls of Impact TNT, where we spoke about climate advocacy and the inclusion of young women within leadership spaces.
Are Girls of Impact TNT people we can talk to on the show sometime?
Yes, most definitely. And I would say it was such a great initiative to be in that room with so many young women who are so passionate about our environment and our climate and of all the many different ways that we can all contribute as a society to ensure that the generations that come after us have something to look forward to.
Sounded pretty productive.
Yes, indeed it was. And there was a cohort of 5 Tobagonian young women. So it was really a nice initiative, and I'm sure in the coming weeks or in the coming days, we will be able to catch up a bit more about that.
Looking forward to that.
Yes. Now, viewers, before we get any further into the programming this morning, we head on over to news in 90 seconds. Mass outrage has spilled onto the streets following the shocking decision to charge Kaya Seeley, the paralyzed widow of Joshua Samaru, with manslaughter and the shooting at police. Law enforcement units heavily monitored the demonstrators, demanding justice for Kaya. The TTPS issued an emergency statement warning that while protests are not explicitly banned under the current state of emergency, public order rules are being aggressively enforced. Violators face fines of up to $100,000 and 5 years imprisonment. A severe travel crisis is unfolding across the region. French Caribbean carrier AMPLIA has permanently shut down and entered court-ordered liquidation after a failed safety audit and accumulating millions in debt. Simultaneously, Caribbean Airlines has aggressively scaled back its network, shutting its Barbados operational base. CAL is completely discontinuing its Dominica, St. Kitts, and Suriname routes, while cutting flights to Martinique and Guadeloupe down to twice weekly to maintain financial stability. And finally, a new era of grassroots leadership has begun. The Tobago branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Village and Community Councils has successfully concluded its annual general meeting. A brand new board of directors was elected from village council members across the island to bolster collaborative rural development. Andrew Macmillan of the Roxborough Village Council has officially been chosen as the new president to spearhead the organization. And that was the news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for our full newscast. Now, moving swiftly along into the programming this morning, we are on to our birthday shout-outs. Alex, I would like you to take the lead this morning as we celebrate.
I wonder why.
As we celebrate all of the individuals who sent forward their birthday greetings.
First up on today's shout-out list is Laura Pascal. Happy birthday to you, Laura. We hope that you have a wonderful day and that the new year is going to be full of purpose and passion for all the things that you desire. Happy birthday and God's blessings to you.
Up next, we have Well Done Scott. Looks very peaceful in this picture, and I hope that your day reflects the same. This new year reflects the same, and you really take some time out today to just reflect, think about what you want for the new year coming up to achieve those goals. Spend some time with family. Really ensure that you take the time to celebrate today. We sometimes get so caught up in the bustle of life that we don't take that time out to really just sit and take in what's around us. We hope you have a great day today, and happy birthday to you.
Next on the list, Gavin Vincent. Happy birthday to you, Gavin. We hope that you have a wonderful day and that the new year brings you the desires of your heart. Have a great day and may God bless you.
And last but certainly not least, we have Purcell Jack. Happy birthday to you from us here at the Tobago Updates family. Wishing you a bright day ahead. Wishing you all peace, prosperity, joy, and that you really take some time today to really reflect upon the new year coming up and that God continues to richly bless you. And that's it for our birthday shout outs this morning. And to those of you who did not make it on our birthday lineup this morning, we want to say happy birthday to you and ensure that next time you send your information to us here at Tobago Update so that we can celebrate with you. Viewers, we're going to be moving along into what's in store for our program this morning. And up next, we have Sergeant Samuel Kwamina of the TTPS, and he's here to talk to us about a police bicycle program. Remember to stay tuned right here as we go into that conversation. And remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Yeah. Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624-333.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans. Let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Okay, I find you taking long to play the card. Come on, I'm all in time, so good, but yo, what school you went by?
Diane Bishops, boy.
Bishops?
Yeah,
sure,
one of the baddest that's come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
But telling her, boy.
Who the baddest? Why one night and life and I is the baddest?
Boy, Bishops is the best, boy.
Yo, what's going on with Tola? Here, what's going on? It's only one way to settle this. We'll be live on Youth Voice TV, where I, your host, Multibass, will be hosting the Rep Your School DJ competition, where DJs will go head-to-head in a crazy battle to secure the title. We have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win, and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come, let me do some job.
So, guys, there are two categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years. And for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So, guys, get ready. It's all about Rep Your School. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep Your School.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Thank you for staying with us, viewers. As promised, we're talking with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and we're talking about a new initiative that has been taking place. To share with us about that is Sergeant Samuel Kwamina. Good morning to you, sir, and welcome.
Good morning to you, sir.
It is good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a long time. I've been on your
Been a while.
program.
So we're talking a new bike riding bicycle program that is, I want to be the one to say this, this boast, that we are told takes place only in the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and I want to give some kudos to the Tobago division for having an initiative that is found nowhere else in this country. Tell us what gave birth to this initiative.
Right. Well, I am a police officer on bicycle. Well, it's e-bike now. And part of function of a police officer on bicycle worldwide is to engage your community on bicycle. Children, whether it be in the schools or in the various communities, we engage them on bicycle as part of our interaction, community engagement tool. But the TTPS, part of the community, part of the TTPS goal, strategic goal, is community engagement. So we're using the bicycle as a tool to reach out to the various communities, especially in the schools, right? Presently, we have a bike to school program, which has been very, very successful. We've been to various primary and secondary schools in Tobago. We've been to the Golden Lane Primary School. We also been to the Bon Accord School. I mean, name a few schools. I don't mind leaving out anybody. Right.
No, I think this is such a great initiative because in the age of technology now, a lot of young people resort to the tablets and the phones, and they have lost that sense of what the generations before got to experience in terms of being outside. I do not know how to ride a bicycle because I was grown up inside. I didn't have the tablets.
Right.
However, I think the decrease in physical activity with young people, especially engaging in these initiatives, are on the decline, and having the TTPS incorporate this within the communities and especially in the schools is such a great initiative. Now, in terms of engaging maybe even the high schools, are there any plans for the TTPS to engage our high schools?
Yes. As a matter of fact, this Friday here in 29, we'll be at the Roxborough Secondary School doing a Ride to School program with the students. The students are very excited. Teachers, we want to get some of the teachers riding also too. Right? We'll be riding from the school through to close to the waterfall, maybe parts of the rainforest, back to Lamy and then back to the school. It'll be very challenging because we have some hills. So I hope the students are listening and they're charging themselves up for that ride on Friday. Right? And as I was saying before, with regards to the school, we've been to Bon Accord Government Primary School, the Bucco Government School also, we've been to the Mason High School also too, right, sometime about a month ago. And just to name a few schools, we've been to St. Andrew's Anglican.
I heard of that one.
That was the last one we did, the St. Andrew's Anglican. That was big. Yeah, big and nice. Students excited.
I am interested in the content of the program.
Right.
Because it says bike to school, right? Does the program include not just the ability to ride, but to safely navigate traffic? Because in my time, I could have walked to school in the middle of the road and know which car will pass at what time.
Right.
That's not the case now. There's so much more vehicular traffic.
Right.
So does the program include safe road use so that they understand how to safely use the road and how to integrate with vehicular traffic?
Right. So the program is very proactive. Look at proactive against road traffic accidents, against motorists, making the cyclists safe on the roadway, making it safe on the road. So very proactive in that fashion. So as part of that program, we teach road safety. We teach how to approach a road junction, which side of the road to be riding on, and various cycling technique. Off-road, we also teach the off-road cycling technique, how to handle bicycle handling skills and technique to make the riders very safe on the roadway.
Now I'm looking at the pictures that were displayed on screen.
Yes.
It's so nice to see the young people getting excited about being outside and in the outdoors. Now, apart from teaching them road safety, is this also the extension of a program to ensure that our young people are closely engaged with law enforcement to shape positive outcomes and positive actions within the society?
Yes, sure. It's a great joy for a child, for a police officer to teach them to ride. That's a life experience, being taught by an officer how to ride a bicycle. So it's a community engagement spirit that we're being proactive about. We go into the various communities. Apart from the school, we do like community rides with various clubs and so forth. And as you mentioned, that it's a collaboration with various different aspects of the community. Like we collaborate with the TIMA. TIMA is on board, providing safety on the roadway, providing also we call it EHS, emergency right, first aid provision, right. Also we network with other police departments, other units within the TTPS in Tobago, like the traffic branch, also the tourist-oriented police section, community policing department, right. It's a collaboration effort, also with the schools, and also more important, a collaboration with the students. Right, a partnership with the students.
I think that whole idea of a partnership with children, and I like the idea that you're doing it in both primary and secondary schools. I was fortunate to grow up in Charlottesville where there was a police station, and I could recall really good interaction with police officers. I had to walk past the police station to go to school, and there was an almond tree in the yard. You'll always say hello, ask me if you could come get some, and you know, there was nice interaction. Sometimes it's all right, they're playing now, time to go to school, because they continue to show the interest in your well-being as a child. And I still remember some of the names of these officers, and I think it's a good idea to help to change some of the negative views that we have of police on the minds of children. I remember having my last brother with me. He was still quite small, and he unfortunately saw a negative interaction between a police officer and a member of the public. And when a friend of ours, who he didn't know then was a police officer, someday the friend of ours took out his wallet and his police ID fell. So my brother picked it up. As a little guy, said, "You are police just kill people," you know, and you know that kind of, because of that negative interaction, you know, that was the impression he had in his mind, and it took a while to start to turn that around. So I think the idea of interacting from that tender age with the police officers in something that the children enjoy can contribute to improving the perception of the police officer and the public. But was part of your intent to change the fact that we have so many children now who are obese, who are encountering juvenile diabetes and these kind of lifestyle things? Was that part of your plan, or did it just happen to fall in?
To fall in. It was our intention to create a positive engagement and positive interaction with the community, especially with children at the school level, right? So it's our goal, because it's part of the TTPS strategic goal, community engagement. So we use the bicycle as a tool for that engagement. Every child wants to be on a bicycle, right? It's an amazing tool. That two-wheel invention, much over 100 years ago. You know, it still came from far, from wherever penny farthing, or whatever you should call it, right? And now with the two-wheel with spokes and so forth, right? Every child is amazed at that mechanism. So we use that tool to interact and get close. So that's the strategy. It's a crime. I call it bicycle a crime prevention tool also too, right? Because that interaction, you get close to the young people, you get close to the kids, right? And we also make an extra effort to make sure our child comes to can't ride. We make that interaction very close up and personal. We actually hold that bike, and they get that feedback from you. And
feel safe in your company.
Feel safe in your company. And we also encourage, because it's a life lesson too. Keep trying until you never give up, you know. Never give up.
How has the responses been? Have we seen, for example, children?
Golden Lane School, sorry. That's Golden Lane School. Yes.
Beautiful.
I think this is stable.
Yeah, they're learning to, you know, to go down the hill, you know, the different principles in descending. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Have we seen a response from the program that suggests, okay, smaller children, I think I want to be a police officer, or in the case of the children in the secondary school, starting to rethink and re-image their view of the police and the police service?
Right. Some of the kids some of the students in the secondary school, they aspire to become police officers. As a matter of fact, they aspire to become police officers on bike. You know, seeing an officer coming to the school on an e-bike, they aspire to ask questions and so forth. So we kind of use that as a tool also to get young people into the TTPS. Like using the bicycle. Okay, you want to become a police officer, you work towards getting your education, and then we bring you another police officer on bicycle. So that's part of the strategy too. A sort of recruitment drive also too. Yeah.
Now, are there opportunities for community groups or other organizations, apart from the safety organizations who are already a part of this initiative, to get on board? Because recently we had the May Mountain Bike Madness, and I'm sure that there are a lot of young people within that space that you can probably filter from the schools into this positive channel where they can also participate in events, not just here in Tobago, but nationally and eventually even overseas, and we open that scope and broaden their horizons. Is there opportunity for that?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, our collaboration is wide. Did you mention about the May Mountain Bike Madness, Tobago Mountain Bike Tours? Right. We collaborate with that unit also too, and also with other clubs. There's a club called NSD, Right, we collaborated at the club and also other cyclist enthusiasts. If you look at some of the video, you will see members of those clubs on the school ride also too. Right, so we have a wide collaboration. Right, some of our members of our club were also taking part in the May Mountain Bike Madness. Right, we didn't win any prize, but the participation was important. It was the first time the kids were participating in the. I also participated in one of the races. Okay. Right, I didn't win a prize because I can't fight up with them young people. but the collaboration that's what we doing, working towards that. So we hope next year we can win some more prizes, take part in some more competition. We have a lot of activities taking place. Early next month, we have the World Bicycle Day. We also have a ride on Saturday evening, the 30th. That's a ride, off-road cycle ride. We expect about 30-35 persons taking part in that ride. And there's the World Bicycle Day, and I think there's some other ride, but we have some rides.
I think anything, because one of the things I looked at as a student and as a former teacher, children look forward to the opportunity to get out of the classroom.
Yes. Right.
And sometimes we restrict their learning by trying to force them to learn in only one mode.
Right.
But I think the idea of getting them out of the classroom helps. How have you seen, because sometimes teachers complain of issues of discipline.
Right.
What was that like for you? Getting the children out of the classroom, was it difficult to get them settled, to get them focused, and to deliver the content you wanted, or was it easy?
Well, the excitement has been so great when they get into that school with those bicycles, that they calm down right as they get to you. That bicycle is amazing, it's like a magic. From the time they get to you, they calm down, they want to do this and want to do that. And we have seen changes in students by just being that engagement, that positive interaction with them on the bicycle. We see changes. That bicycle bring about change. Is really amazing to see what the police interaction with the students on a bicycle. This is Boko Government School here. That was big and nice right through the golf course, and the engagement was a lot of high profile posts, teachers and stuff, and parents was also on that. I can't call the name here.
I was just about to ask about parent involvement, because this is within school hours, and I just wanted to know what was that collaboration or that tying together in terms of logistics as it relates to parents being involved, because apart from having these initiatives within the schools, we still need to have parent involvement and parent engagement, because children connect these experiences together. So I was asking, how do we go about having the parents involved? Is it that we do it on particular days? The school sends out a memo to the parents so that they can be involved.
Right. Well, what we normally do, first we visit the school, speak to the principal, have the principal on board with the program, and then they do their internal advertisement on there. They have a WhatsApp chat. We encourage them to do like a flyer, then publish it with the school population. And then we are also encouraged to get the teachers riding also too, and also
how has that part worked out? How many teachers?
Well, we get the principal of Bonacor School to ride with the first one we did.
Well, congratulations to you.
Teachers, to our teachers, right? And so far we're trying to get some more principals to ride, but so far we're not getting any more principals. We're getting teachers. But we got a lot of parents coming out also, because we encourage the parents to come, and it's a good way to bond with your children. You cycle with them, and the bicycle is a great way to occupy children. As we talk about the tablet, that's a great way to occupy them away from the devices, get them out. Some of them, you could really see that they aren't accustomed to outdoors much. Because when we went to No Man's Land on a ride, and it was kind of muddy, and some of them started crying when their foot got down in mud. You understand?
They're not used to outdoors.
They're not used to them outdoor activities. So we're engaging parents to be involved with your kids, especially on bicycles. Some of them come and they're big, like 6-7, and they're still on a training with the camera. But it's a great way, it's a great family occupation.
I think the idea of trying to encourage the teachers as well. So I want to join in encouraging teachers, learn to ride.
Yes.
Come out and ride with the children. One of the things I learned, I remember as a primary school child, when we went to the play field we used to call it games. When the teachers played, there was something different from when they just stood by and watched us and told us what to do. But there were times when they played with us. And sometimes they would even come out and play like football and cricket on the regular lunchtime and thing. And when the teachers played, there was a difference. So I want to join in encouraging the teachers to be part of the effort, because it helps the child to see them as just another human who can do things that we
Exactly.
like and stuff.
Yes, yes.
So we want to thank you, Sergeant Commoner, for coming this morning and sharing with us about this bicycle program. We wish you all the best going forward in your endeavors as you continue to go about Tobago, engage in the high schools and the primary schools, and that we continue to see the changes within our young people through this initiative, and that the parents get on board, and as Alex said, the teachers get on board, and we really make this a community effort in ensuring that our next generation, they have the tools and they are equipped with what they need for going forward.
And they're healthy and strong.
And they are healthy and strong.
Keep them healthy. Right? So stay tuned. We are coming to your school.
Thank you, Sergeant Gordon.
Thank you.
Now, viewers, stay right here. We'll be right back after the break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Coming up, spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda, in the Carnival Zone and with some ocean inhabitants. The kids delivered as always on the track and in the pool. The power to make a difference, supporting great initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a true Jamaican feel amidst the grandeur at this hotel. Another milestone for Trinidad and Tobago tourism. It's all next on this station.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call
710-168-9999. This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show. Everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look out below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look out below, 'cause this is your show.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Don't scream in a bank. That have lockup in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. Haul your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That make it any financial
What people should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer help from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, Antoine, don't get one sooner.
Who said the elderly can't have fun too? We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Big up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
To a stranger,
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. And we're talking sport this morning. We're talking Tobago pride. From the football fields of Tobago to collegiate stage in the United States, our next guest is proving that talent, discipline, and determination can open doors far beyond our shores. Joining us this morning in studio is Keanu Boswin. He has officially signed with Eastern Arizona College, where he will compete at the NJCAA division in... Is it this month? In Arizona. Yes, in Arizona. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. I'm very excited to be here.
Now, tell us about your journey leading up to joining football and to eventually now being selected to be with the Arizona club and performing out in the United States.
My journey started from that very same Facebook post when I was like 15, 16 in Dwight York Stadium, where my scout, Christopher Sowell, he came there and then he saw my talent, he saw a lot of talent in me, and then from there, it was just me and him back and forth working. I went to Germany first for, I'll say, 6 months, and then from Germany I got injured. I had to do surgery in Germany also. And after that I came back home, put in more work, and then I had to go to Spain to play there. I played in Spain for, I'll say, 8 months, and after that, Spain was a real eye-opener for me, so I decided to switch things up and go to the collegiate level, that was last year, where from Spain I went to the US and I was playing with Mississippi State in Tennessee. And after that, with that, I had a great season. I performed well, and that led me to Arizona now.
I'm tempted to ask how old are you? Don't answer if you're not comfortable. You said this journey started when you were 15. You look about 15 and a half. But this seems to be quite a journey. How has it been navigating all this international travel, the adjustment to a different culture, playing football, and studying? How has that been?
Honestly, it's been really fun, but also really stressful at times, because I'm alone basically, meeting new people every year, every other month. I have to adapt to a new culture, but with that, it's fun. I enjoy doing it, enjoy meeting new people, enjoy experiencing new cultures.
Now, looking back at your time with Eagles FC, what are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned then that you're taking with you now into this new chapter and all the chapters before this one?
I'll say discipline and dedication, because I need to be disciplined to my schoolwork and my football, and I just need to be dedicated so I won't give up.
There's a common or cultural kind of attitude we have in Tobago, that when you have to do academics, you can't do anything else. So probably you play football in high school up to Form 3, and when you hit Form 4, you have to stop, or whatever other sport or any other extracurricular activity. That's generally your culture. You have been able to navigate both, and successfully so. Share with viewers, one, reiterate its possibility and how they can do it.
I'll say it's really tough, it's really hard, because to manage it is like football one night and then in the next morning you have to wake up 8 a.m. for class, so it's really hard. But that's where dedication comes in, and you have to keep your eyes on your goal, like tunnel vision. You have to know what you want and go after it.
Now, in terms of an individual or a young person truly achieving their fullest potential, there are role models and individuals that they look up to, or their support systems. Who has had the biggest influence on your development as a footballer?
Firstly, I'll say my dad, because I never actually saw him play football, but everyone says that he was one of the top players around. But I strive to be better than him.
That's a good objective.
Most people say they want to be like someone, but I strive to be better than people. So, yeah.
And I think that's something that often we miss. If you be like, then wherever they got is the furthest you're likely to get. If you strive to exceed, then you can achieve more. Which high school you went to?
Okay, I went to Signal Hill Secondary first.
That's the best alumni.
Somehow I knew I would hear that.
I transferred to Scarborough Sec to finish school.
Awesome.
I went to Scarborough Sec too. So I had the best of both worlds. So you alma mater for both of my We've had a number of people who left Trinidad and Tobago, traveled abroad, and were not successful. Notwithstanding, we've had a number of people who succeeded. What would you see would be some of the roadblocks to succeeding in environments like these?
I'll say it's just like mentally, you'll be missing your family, missing your home. This is Tobago, you'll obviously miss food. So yeah, but I just have to stay dedicated, keep your eyes on your goal and your purpose.
Now, just one last question before we wrap up the interview. A lot of young people, especially within the Tobago space, are sometimes very skeptical about the opportunities and a bit fearful. I want you to share with the viewers who are looking on this morning. They may have a young person who is interested in football or in sport or in just opportunities in general. Tell them how important it is for young players or young people just to step outside of their comfort zones and embrace opportunities such as the one that you have been afforded.
I say you have to develop a relationship with the agents, because there are a lot of agents that will just give you the runaround, but there are also some good agents. So it depends on your agent, to be honest, and your relationship with him. And it's not a joke that it takes a lot of money, but it will all be worth it in the end, because from college you can still branch off into professional football, or you can go and work in your field that you're studying for. So it'll all be worth it in the end.
I think you've left us with quite a lot to think about. The last one you mentioned is quite important. The issue of building and maintaining good relationships. It's something that sometimes you struggle with, but we're learning from you the importance of building and maintaining good relationships. You spoke about the adjustment, and I wanted to take that away as well, that we have to help each other adjust when we travel. We have to, although we may be in different countries, remember to remain part of the support network so that all young people succeed. Congratulations again, Keanu, and all the best going forward.
All right, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Well, viewers, we go to a short break now. When we come back, we continue to talk the latest developments on crime in Trinidad and Tobago. Stay with us till then, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Sun Up Tobago presents Solara. Celebrating the 9th edition of your favorite party in the East, where style and good vibes meet. Get ready for the food-inclusive cooler experience you love. This July 4th, we return to the East, bringing you the perfect blend of mouth-watering food flavors, premium vibes, and unforgettable energy.
One thing more than fi understood. When girl, good girl.
Grab your cooler, hold your crew, and escape to Tobago's ultimate vibe. Join us at 4 p.m. at the Delta compound in Argyle. Get your tickets now at Waterhole Bar and Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Barcode, Scarborough, Eco Spots, Dudley Park, Neat Jones Bar on the Esplanade, and Jane Monkey Crown Point, or online at idletickets.com. Sun Up Tobago, Solara, 9 years strong. Your favorite party in the East is calling. Saturday, 4th of July, Delta compound Argyle.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven.
Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. Here now, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I popped the question, what you had to eat day? And boom! Coconut drops, boom, bread, boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays. Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock. We only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, AMPLIA, get ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. AMPLIA at GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu day one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Whoa. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Coming up, spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda, in the Carnival Zone and with some ocean inhabitants. The kids delivered as always on the track and in the pool. The power to make a difference, supporting great initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's a true Jamaican feel amidst the grandeur at this hotel. Another milestone for Trinidad and Tobago tourism. It's all next on this station.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624-333.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back, and we have come to the end of the Tobago Updates morning show. But before we leave you, we're just going to give a quick recap of what we discussed this morning. Alex, this morning we started off with Corporal Samuel Kwamina of the TTPS, and we spoke about police presence as it relates to the bike initiative that they currently have ongoing. I really liked it.
I think in the first case, the idea of getting children out of a building and doing something that includes more than their thumbs is really an interesting idea. And I think it goes well not only for just a change of environment for the child, but it can contribute to their overall health and well-being. I think it's really a good initiative.
And I think it also shapes that habit of having a hobby outside of the home. I think for so long...
And outside of the device.
And outside of the device. I think for so long we have shaped the children in a way where learning can only happen within the confines of 4 walls. But learning is continuous and outside of those walls. And I think when it comes to embracing the outdoors and having children outside of the classroom, I believe the information sticks and lasts for a lot longer because it's hands-on, it's practical.
Some of my greater lessons were learned outside of the classroom, and they are those things that I can easily or more quickly adapt and apply daily as life goes on. So I think being outside of the classroom ever so often is really an important thing.
And when we look at the attention span of children, it's very hard sometimes to keep them focused on one thing, but when they're engaged and they're in play and they have that opportunity to relate with their classmates, relate with adults, as you've mentioned, seeing teachers up and about in and around their spaces doing the things that they do, it really gives that sense of Miss really sees me or Sir really sees me, and I can relate with them on a level. And that relatability is something we need to start bringing back within the school system, because we have so many issues that are being perpetuated within the education system, within the school systems, and sometimes having relatability with your teacher, someone you can go and speak to, sometimes is really important.
And I think it also helps to reintegrate both the teacher and the police officer into the community, see them as part of what is happening and not as an outsider on an addendum. You know, they've shown as being belonging to the life of this child, and I think that too is an important thing.
And when we talk about rebuilding public trust within the TTPS, it has to start, as you've mentioned, with the young people and seeing the positive change and impacts that they have within society and within the community. And I really think that bicycle initiative really is the best way to go about it.
I don't know whose idea it was, but I don't think they could have easily come up with a better idea. And I think really that they should be congratulated, especially since it's only in the Tobago division. I think all of Tobago should be justifiably proud of something that is happening for our young people in the space that is theirs, and it happens only here.
Now, we saw a majority of the pictures being within the primary school, but Corporal mentioned that it's also within the high schools. Now, as adolescents grow, and within the high school system, some of the habits and the behaviors that they pick up is not necessarily positive. But having the bicycle initiative introduced to them is now an outlet for positive games. So there are individuals who may not be inclined to sport, but the bicycle may be a great way to relieve stress, may be a great way to get into cycling, may be a great way for them to end up into the mountain bike madness. We don't know.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because sometimes we also look only at what we call the traditional sports. So if
Football,
we think you know, we think only football and cricket, but there's cycling too that can create avenues for advancement in later years. So, you know, there are so many opportunities that can be born out of this entire thing. It's just amazing.
And as we are on the topic of opportunities, that gives us a great segue into Keanu Boatwright. He's from Tobago, and he now has the opportunity to go to Arizona and perform out there.
Because he was outdoors.
Because he was outdoors, and that is very true. And if we continue to invest in our young people and give them the opportunity to really showcase their talents, we see the opportunities that are open to them once the adults and the community continue to invest and create those pathways for them.
Here we have it, viewers. That's where we leave it for this morning. We're certainly glad that you've joined us. We take a break and we'll be right back.
Blessings have come my way.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for a night of praise, worship, and celebration.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's sold out. The gospel concert of the century, heading this spectacular event and bringing his anointed energy and chart-topping hits. It's internationally acclaimed gospel superstar Sherwin Gardner.
Blessings gonna find me. Yeah.
Saturday, 6th June at the beautiful Magdalene Grand Beach Resort, Tobago, and Sunday, 7th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sharing the stage are the powerful ministries of Blessed Messengers, Sean Daniel, Pastor Terrence Baines, and Jaron Nurse. And many more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be sold out for Jesus. Saturday, 6th June, Magdalena Plaza Grand Beach Resort, and Sunday, 7th June, Napa, Port of Spain.
Tickets $300, but if bought by Saturday, 23rd May, cost $100 less. For more info, call 358-6397.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome, viewers, and we want to say thank you for staying tuned with us here at Tobago Updates. To our viewers joining us on Facebook, YouTube, AMPLIA, Flow, and Digital, we want to say thank you for making Tobago Updates your #1 station. But as we close this morning on Tobago Updates morning show, we want to ask you to stay right here because GMT is up next. And remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
This morning we spoke about gut health and moving from chaos to calm. How do we achieve optimal gut health in 90 days or less? Now we saw this a very, very fitting workshop to have at this time because we know that if we look at our local space, the Tobago space, we have an issue with non-communicable diseases that are rampant, they're on the rise. And many people don't realize that the genesis issues is digestive health. So when we fix digestive health, then we're able to affect every other organ system within the body. So fix digestion first and you realize that your body serves you and it gives you so many things for years to come.
I attended this workshop both as a spectator to learn the valuable information that Miss Melissa had to share, but also to see how our department could collaborate with this department to now get this information across to the wider Tobago population. There's a nerve that runs from the brain straight down to the lungs, the heart, the gut, and this nerve is called the vagus nerve. This nerve is so important because the information in the gut goes to the brain, where we produce serotonin 90 to 95% in the gut. So people think we have to, focus on antidepressants and these things, but no, sometimes we could fix our mental health by focusing on the foods that we eat. The information that the gut sends to the brain affects how we feel, affects how we interpret information, affects how we relate to people, and you could see that when you are hungry.
It's interesting. You're not going to come back again and find out more things about your body.
At this stage in life, we need to pay attention to our diet, what we eat, determine our health in the future.
Start with digestive health. If you're having any signs, symptoms, or diagnosis, we always look at the 3 roots: digestion, inflammation, and genetics. Once we can target those 3 roots, any sign, symptom, or diagnosis can change its expression, and we'll just be a healthier island as a result.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to B's and T's 2026, now in its 4th year and growing stronger with each edition. Today we are celebrating 2 very important occasions: World Bee Day and International Tea Day. By bringing them together, we have created something uniquely Tobago, a moment to reflect on nature, on wellness, on culture, and on the ties that bind us to this land and to each other.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning Tobago. Good morning Tobago. Good morning Tobago.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And ladies and gentlemen, you know whenever you see me here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Mass outrage has spilled onto the streets following the shocking decision to charge Kaya Seeley, the paralyzed widow of Joshua Samaru, with manslaughter and shooting at police. Law enforcement units heavily monitored the demonstration demanding justice for Kaya. The TTPS issued an emergency statement warning that while protests are not explicitly banned under the current state of emergency, public order rules are being aggressively enforced. Violators face fines of up to $100,000 and 5 years imprisonment. Additionally, a severe travel crisis is unfolding across the region. French Caribbean carrier Air AMPLIA has permanently shut down and entered court-ordered liquidation after a failed safety audit and accumulating millions in debt. Simultaneously, Caribbean Airlines has aggressively scaled back its network, shutting its Barbados operational base. CAL is completely discontinuing its Dominica, St. Kitts, and Suriname routes while cutting flights to Martinique and Guadeloupe down to twice weekly to maintain financial stability. And finally, a new era of grassroots leadership has begun. The Tobago branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Village and Community Councils has successfully concluded its annual general meeting. A brand new board of directors was elected from villages across the island to bolster collaborative rural development. Andra Macmillan of Roxborough Village Council has officially been chosen as president to spearhead the organization. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, it's sad for us to say here on Tobago Updates that persons in Tobago are still mourning the missing 2-year-old toddler, Angelo Tobias Plaza. And this morning we are continuing that discussion about the developments that has taken place in that case and where do we go from here as a society. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning I have the privilege of chatting right in studio with the political leader of the IDA, Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning, Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago, wherever you are. Good morning.
Right. And as I said, it's sad to see that the developments that are happening in this case are actually no developments at all. When you think about the fact that the body of this toddler has still not yet been found, and sufficient information surrounding his disappearance has not yet gotten to the public. We've heard a number of things. We've even heard from the police commissioner coming out to say that the reports that were made last week of a confession were not, in fact, information that officially came out of the TTPS as being true. And then at the end of the week, we heard that the stepfather, Shannon Miller, was officially charged with murder of that toddler. Good morning again, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
Right, tell us a bit about where you stand with all the developments that have been happening with this
Any
2-year-old.
crime against a child I consider to be heinous, and it creates a trauma on society. And we have seen that expressed in how the whole community has come out. People across Tobago have come out, and even across Trinidad, we have seen persons weigh in on the situations. You know, mothers just cringing at the thought of a child being lost, and being lost in that manner. The uncertainty of just not knowing what happened is a big one for everyone. And I think that is why persons continue to hold vigils, hoping that at some point they can have closure, whether it's through finding the body. And I think that's the big one. People feel as if, well, if there's a body, then, you know, there's absolute closure. And it's, you know, no longer an uncertain road that they would walk.
Understood. And this is something that we can deem to be, you know, unprecedented in Tobago. We've never seen a crime of this nature before, and particularly with social media now, everything is at your fingertips. You're almost getting the hour by hour, play by play. And when you look at the type of media coverage that has taken place over this particular case, it seems that the general public was not just involved, but deeply connected to this particular case. Why do you think that was?
I think it's perhaps because it's the youngest. I don't know if there's anyone who has been younger than that, even across the country, to just go missing like that, and the stories that are around the missing child. I know that there was another case, I think it's in Palatuvia, of a child around the age of 3 years old that went missing, and still to this day there's been no answer in that case. So it's not the first time, but certainly this time around social media is at play, and everyone feels that they're intimately involved, whether they're on the island, in the community, or across the waters. Because of social media, everyone feels that they are intimately involved in the activities. And I noticed that the police feel frustrated by it, because they felt that people were saying things that were not correct, and that it somehow distracted from them doing their work. I think at the end of the day, and I said it before, a lot of us have to introspect on this whole case, how it's been handled, not just on the day of the event and going forward for the last 11 days, but even before that. You know, were there signs that were ignored? Were there, you know, were there stories that people heard that they just did not pay attention to in the community? What was the relationship? All of those things, because, you know, you don't expect this just to come out of the blue. There must have been something leading up to it, and therefore, you know, where do we take responsibility for seeing things and not doing something about it, or saying something about it in time such that this could have been prevented?
Right. And for a lot of persons, when you scan through social media, you just listen to the general conversation surrounding this topic, persons are asking, how is it possible that the mother of the child walks scot-free? You don't hear of her being charged. Or is it that the investigation is continuing and we've not yet heard how far the investigation has gotten? But persons are asking the question, how can a woman stand beside a man who has murdered her child and not show any, type of fear or remorse or sadness or any type of emotion that is expected from a grieving mother?
I know you could look at it at so many sides with that. Is the mother, so much in fear? Or what has she been through that maybe perhaps she may be in fear of her own life, of whatever? Is she in shock? Is she all here? There's so many ways that you can look at it. But I keep going back to the point that a lot of times people know what may be happening in a home, but because it is culturally acceptable sometimes, we ignore it until it is too late. The question is, were there instances of domestic violence in the home before? And is this the result of it? What? And so those are questions that ought to be answered. We hope that the TTPS will get to the bottom of it, so that even if Tobago we have not seen a body, at least we can get some answers that could help us put this situation to some semblance of rest. We will never rest from this. I mean, this is so terrible. We may never rest, but at least knowing may bring us to a level of peace with it.
Understood. And even where we go as a society from here, particularly within the district and the village, what are you recommending, as it pertains to the healing process moving forward as a community? Because this situation affects more than just the immediate family. Persons are even worried for the safety of the mother going back into the community with such outrage in the public still.
Well, definitely there's a role for our institutions to ensure that the mother is in a place, whether that she's not harmed or that she doesn't even harm herself, and that there is some level of transition. I don't know what part the parents have to play in this, whether they can be helpful or useful at this time, or whether they are similarly traumatized and can't give her any assistance. But I think going forward, communities, we have to become stronger and committed to one another, not only when there is trauma or crime, but even before that. It takes a village to raise a child. How do we get involved in each other's lives the way we used to, and not, that not my business, no? To where we have gotten. It's not your business while it is, going on, but when there's tragedy, all of a sudden it becomes everyone's business. And how do we get back to more of a preventative role and becoming involved in each other's lives? Again, taking responsibility for each other, growing a child. How do we do that as a community, as a people, as a society? And one of the things that we need to do, I heard you mention the village council is back up. There has to be a greater role for the village council and other NGOs and communities to really take a leading role in charting the course for how communities develop. Additionally, at the level of the THA and even, with this autonomy bill, we have to find ways to give community rights and to be able to empower communities such that they have the resources on the ground to start taking care of their own.
Understood. And with social media playing a huge role in how we communicate in today's society, how do we use social media responsibly in situations like this, where persons want to share information, they want to be involved and they want to be updated on what is happening, but sharing misinformation can do more harm than good?
Sharing in misinformation absolutely can do more harm than good. And this is where you may need to have more enforcement. That TTPS is not about boots on the ground, but also fingers on the
media,
the social media, because it is a place where people feel now that they have freedom to do anything and say anything whenever they want, however they want, and there has to be some order brought into that. There are positives and there are negatives on it, and the persons need to become more responsible in their reporting, in their utterances, especially when you have high-profile cases.
Right, and moving forward, what are you advocating for in a situation like this, particularly as political leader? What would you like to see moving forward, whether it's at a policy level, a community level, a family level? What are you advocating for?
Social intervention. I've always said perhaps one of the largest cadre of workers that we should have is social workers. You know, teachers are becoming social workers now, but we need real social workers to go out of the offices and be there in communities to do the assessment with different families. Don't wait until a family is in crisis and come begging to the institution to see if they could get a hamper or whatever. I think we need to go out to the families and do the assessment and see where we are. I also am advocating for what they call a causal study on crime. Do we really know what causes crime? You know, what drove that young man to do whatever he did to be charged at this point, the stepfather? What is the cause of crime? I don't think there's ever been a study to determine what exactly is the cause of crime. And I think that has to be done. If not, we are just shooting in the dark and not knowing, not exactly knowing what we need to put in place to truly address and abate crime in the island and in the country. Data is important, and that could only come out of a study. I heard they mentioned it to the Chief Secretary some time ago when we met with the new ACP coming in, and he agreed that that is something that he would consider taking up for Tobago, and I hope that he follows through on it, that causal study is done, and that he will have credible people to do it.
You mean locally for Tobago or for Trinidad and Tobago?
No, you start in Tobago.
Right.
Yes, if Trinidad wants to take it up and go further, sure, but you're responsible for Tobago. You're not directly responsible for the policing efforts, but there's nothing stopping you from actually having a causal study done on crime in Tobago, because I dare say the reasons for crime in Tobago may be very well different from the reasons for crime in Trinidad. The reason for crime in Crown Point is different from the reason for crime in Charlottesville. Or, you know, so until we know, we don't know.
Understood. And, you know, even as we wrap up our discussions this morning, is there anything that you want to say to our viewers looking on this morning?
Well, there's one more case. I didn't expect that this would just be. There's so many things going on in Tobago right now. And the one I want to put a plug in for the the persons doing the boating and the jet ski, that community where they've had a Tobago Marine bill foisted upon them. They feel as if they have not been consulted and that they are not in agreement with a number of facets of the bill, and therefore they are going to certainly be pushing back with a petition, starting with a petition and with other actions to demonstrate to this Tobago House of Assembly that they cannot just run and do whatever they like just because they have all 15 in the house, and that they're not going to stand for it. That the people have the power, the people have put them there, they are employers. The people are the employers and they are the employees in the executive, and that they cannot just do whatever they want. So those folks, the reef operators and the jet ski, they are certainly going to be fighting for their space. It's not that they don't support some type of bill, but definitely not that one that is being put forward, because they have not been consulted sufficiently on it. And number two, they're concerned that the bill allows for their displacement from the jobs that they are currently taking up there, and that a lot of the fees for breaching the legalities in the bill, that the fees are quite high. Of course, there are a few other things, but that will take another show.
Understood. We want to thank you so much for being here this morning and, always being able to give those perspectives, whether, it's as a former assemblywoman or, just as a political leader in the space. So we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more discussions after this. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new
blessings have become my way. Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for a night of praise, worship, and celebration. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's sold out. The gospel concert of the century, heading this spectacular event and bringing his anointed energy and chart-topping hits. It's internationally acclaimed gospel superstar Sherwin Gardner.
Blessings gonna find me, yeah.
Saturday, 6th June at the beautiful Magdalene Grand Beach Resort, Tobago, and Sunday, 7th at Napa, Port of Spain. Sharing the stage are the powerful ministries of Blessed Messengers, Sean Daniel, Pastor Terrence Baines, and Jaron Nurse. And many more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and be sold out for Jesus. Saturday, 6th June, Magdalena Plaza Grand Beach Resort, and Sunday, 7th June, Napa, Port of Spain.
Tickets $300, but if bought by Saturday, 23rd May, cost $100 less. For more info, call 358-6397.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. Here now, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays. Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock. We only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu they one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we jump straight ahead into our conversation, and this morning we're chatting with a grief counselor in the form of Dr. Annette Joseph, who is a psychologist. Good morning, Dr. Joseph, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, well, as we know, Tobago is, and the wider region, to be honest, this has no longer just been a Tobago issue. It's no longer a Trinidad and Tobago issue. It's an international issue with international conversations surrounding the missing 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza. And so, you know, it's almost a situation where even strangers are grieving for a baby that they themselves have never met. Tell us a bit about how, you know, the emotions surrounding this case could have such a negative, wide-reaching impact on communities.
Well, Chanel, anything that is traumatic tends to give people a sense of helplessness. And it doesn't matter who it is. Once it happens in our community, we tend to feel a sense of helplessness. There's also a sense of guilt that is associated with trauma, especially loss. Guilt for either what I did or what I didn't do. And in this case, you have a lot of guilt because as a community, we may feel that we should have been monitoring this family. We could have done, and the brain takes over, and you have a lot of should have and could have going through. The challenge is with the brain. A lot of us are not aware that our brain holds on to every experience we've had unless we do work to overcome it. So that when grief happens, it's not just what is going on right now, but it is all the past trauma the brain tends to remember, and it hurts a lot more. You experience a deeper feeling rather than what is going on right at this point in time. So you have the guilt, and you feel helpless. And that is one of the things, especially what happens with communities. You also go through sometimes shock and denial that you can't believe that this has happened, and it has happened right here in our community. So you have that. You also have some members of your community would also be feeling unsafe because you wonder what is going if this could happen, and well, we have people in our community who are responsible for this act and we really don't know them. It could have happened to me, it could have happened to my children, etc. So there are myriad things that go through people's minds and their thoughts that impact them. Some people would go through depression, and grief. Let me say from up front that grief takes time. Grief needs time. There's no shortcut to grief. It's something that we need to go through. All of us go through grief.
Understood. And there's a situation whereby persons are asking, why doesn't the reaction, the emotion, the communication coming from the mother of the child, her grandparents, the near family look like grief? Why doesn't it look like sadness? Why doesn't it look like pain? Why doesn't it look like anger and frustration? Is it a situation where everyone grieves differently and you have to allow persons to express that in their own unique ways? Or can these type of reactions be a telltale sign of deeper issues happening with this particular case?
Both are correct, that we all grieve differently. And from a psychological perspective, I would also talk about shock. Shock is one of the stages of grief, especially in the early stage. And you do not know if people are going through shock. When people are going through shock, they just move from day to day. They do things routinely. And sometimes it's after the shock wears off, you find the person would break down, etc. Sometimes it's the way the body copes with grief, that the body shuts down, the brain shuts down the body, especially if the pain is really severe or traumatic. The brain tends to shut down the body, and all the body does is go into survival mode, so that you may find the person just doing things, just living, etc. Though the rest of us who may not be as shocked may be finding that, well, why they're not doing anything? It's the same thing that happens sometimes. Somebody gets bad news and they just zone out. And people would be wondering, so why aren't they crying? Why aren't they reacting? But sometimes it's the way the body copes. There are some people who go into depression, and when they go into depression, they just move, just feeling like a blah, and they don't do anything. I think where the challenge may be is that if we see people seemingly going through everyday life, doing everything, laughing, etc., you still don't know what is happening inside, because we are also a people who have, if we have grown up from childhood hiding our feelings, because I remember growing up in Tobago from childhood. Sometimes somebody's getting licks and the parents is saying, shut your mouth, what you're crying for? So we learn to hide our feelings and not express it, so that we become adults who do not express feelings, so that we really cannot judge people from what we see. You have to really get into the person and help the person to be able to express their feelings, etc.
Right, and with this particular case and the outrage surrounding it because of the trauma of the situations, persons are asking, okay, why hasn't the mother been charged? Or, just asking those questions surrounding that. How can, even the mother herself feel comfortable being reintegrated back into society after such a traumatizing situation, and persons putting that blame on her? And how can she be reintegrated? How can her family be reintegrated? Or how can support be given to her if possible?
Well, there's need definitely for therapy. That mother and the close family members, even the community, you can have group counseling sessions where people are able to express themselves and express themselves freely. And it may not happen in 1 or 2 sessions, because sometimes the way the brain shuts down in trauma, it may take a while for the person to be able to come to terms with it and be able to express themselves. When people go through trauma, there are different parts of the brain that are activated. For some persons, all they do is remember the images. Speech is not, speech is affected. Brain imaging show that the brain, they just keep remembering the picture of what has happened and the experiences. So sometimes it takes a while for the brain to get the message, I am now safe and I am now able to talk and to receive help. Normally, when people go through trauma, the first thing is not always a counselor comes in. Sometimes you have to give them time to process a little bit and for the brain to begin to feel a little safe again before they are able to receive the trauma and go through trauma. Depression takes a while, and they would need to do that. So for me, I would recommend community counseling as well, maybe 1 or 2 sessions where the community as a group can understand the impact, etc. And also the family, individual, and the mother would have to be counseled by herself. I know some people would say, oh, Dr. Joseph, what you talking about? But even the stepfather has to be counseled, and the father and the grandparents and so on. It's a wide community, and if we want to save our community, we really need to be able to prepare sessions for all these persons.
Understood. And, we want to thank you for bringing your expertise into the conversation and giving us that level of understanding. And even before we wrap up our discussion this morning, social media has played an integral part in this case, and it's something that is almost unavoidable because everyone has access to social media. How has that impacted us as a society when it comes to the concept of re-traumatization? Every time we're exposed to content or videos or anything as it pertains to the case, there's that way where the brain feels like it's being re-traumatized over again. And how can we cope with that? Is it that we should stay away from social media or just responsibly consume the content?
The truth is, there are some issues, yes, we debate it, but things that, okay, there used to be a phrase, help me to know what I can change and what I cannot change. Social media has its own role. What we do, you see what you're doing now, that is social media and that is benefit. So that rather than just bringing up the negatives, we can also do exactly what you're doing, helping people to see a different perspective and use social media to offer assistance to the community. The truth is, whether social media brings it up or not, the way the brain works, it is going to be playing over and over in the brain. So what we need to do is equip people with coping skills. Turning off social media is not going to help the brain to not bring it up. Because once an experience is, somebody experiences something, connections are formed in the brain, neural connection, and the brain will keep bringing it up. That's how the brain functions. So I would recommend that in order to cope, that person should talk it out. We have become a community, or we grew up in a community. I could talk about Tobago, where you don't let people know your business. We're not supposed to be expressing emotions. We tell people to suck it up, so we don't express emotions, etc. But talking it out helps. So you can talk with your neighbor, discuss it, because you realize you're not the only person who feels that way. So you talk about it. For the younger people, I would also tell them, write about it. Write out how you feel. You talk about what you're thinking, how you're feeling. And I would also help to tell people, remember that all thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are just that. They are thoughts, but they affect our emotion. I would recommend too for persons in the community to practice proper breathing, so that you, what we recommend is what some people call it box breathing. You take a deep breath while counting to 4, hold it while counting to 4, breathe out while counting to 4. So it is in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, out 1, 2, 3, 4. That helps the feelings, and it helps you to calm down. I would also recommend for persons in the community, especially those persons who are hypertensive, to get medical checkup. Sometimes we don't associate news and trauma with our body, but the body responds to everything. So when you get news, the body releases chemicals that give you that burning sensation in your belly, etc.
Right.
And your hypertension, your pressure goes up.
Right.
So that in the community, health centers should be very busy checking people's pressure and making sure that those who need medication, etc. And those are some of the things I would recommend at this time.
Excellent. Well, Dr. Joseph, we want to thank you so much again for being here this morning and giving us some of those professional perspectives as it pertains to how the community can cope with grief and trauma during this time, as it pertains to the case of the missing 2-year-old toddler baby Angelo Tobias Plaza. Thank you and have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more conversation right after this. See you soon.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Whoa. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Step out of my dreams to my real life. 'Cause girl, I wanna know you feel like, yeah. Come closer to me, let the stars align, yeah. In the middle of the night, you bring the sunshine. Miss Lady, she have a pot on the fire, burn a flame when she cooking.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Chanel Felix. This morning we are chatting about the Mindstar Spelling Bee Championship and Finals that has recently gone, and we are chatting this morning with Adana Williams, who is the founder, owner, CEO of ALW Consultants Limited, and we are chatting about the success of this particular spelling bee. We've had a number of Tobago students participating in this spelling bee at the semi-finals and the finals that took place in Tobago, and then the national finals that took place, and we had a number of students also representing there from a number of different primary and secondary schools on the island. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
This morning, I'm joined in studio not only by Adana, but I have Sir Hansel Marcel, who is a student of Scarborough Secondary School, who won first place for the Form 5 and 6 category during the Tobago finals. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Adana, tell us a bit about the success or the overall competition, and where do we go from here as it pertains to the Mindstar Spelling Bee and the involvement of students?
Yes. So a pleasant good morning again. The Spelling Bee, Mindstar National Spelling Bee and Tech Park was a success, not because I am saying that, but everyone who was present at SAPA on Wednesday 13th May 2026 saw that this was the truth. The students went above and beyond the expectations. There were many principals, there were many teachers, parents, and students and supporters there. And we were all astonished, we were all surprised at the battle that went on. Students were very competitive. The words that person said were hard. They made it seem, are these really hard words? And this was testimony to what I wanted, my vision, what I continue to for the students to manifest that if we teach the children from young to grow towards greater things and to challenge themselves, we would have students who would want to continue to strive for excellence. So we have as little as standard 1 students, and these students did not give up at all. They were battling, especially, I must say, the boys. The boys were very impressive. From the winners, we saw that we had, in the 6 categories, 5 of the winners were male and 1 lone female. And I was very happy to see that, because in the education system, we tend to hear boys not succeeding as much as their female counterparts. So this here was a winning situation to see that we need to challenge the students if it's more competitions like these, to be able to see that they have great things inside of them.
Right.
And it was a really happy moment.
Right. And so Hansel, tell us a bit about your experience participating in the competition. Was it one that you were happy with your performance? I know you also virtually participated in the national finals. Tell us about your personal experience overall.
The overall experience, I would say, was enjoyable, especially in Tobago, because it was the first time that I was able to compete in a spelling bee and with such high stakes, like first piece, so much prize and all the stuff like that. And despite the setbacks with the trainer and the virtual stuff, I didn't give up. I still wanted to try, see if I could still get first place, second place or third place, whatever. I just still wanted to still participate and not give up despite all the things that was going on.
Excellent. And tell us about, representation. How important was it for you to represent your school, your community, your parents, and do you think that you made your school proud?
I would say I made my school proud because ever since they posted the picture online, all the teachers have been recognizing it and pointing it out and whatever and saying congratulations. So I'll say I made them proud, and I can't say I wish to make them proud because I'm about to graduate, but I hope this would encourage further students to continue participating and bring more trophies to the school.
Excellent. And Adana, we want to thank you for ensuring that Tobago played a critical role in this particular competition and ensuring that you were able to do what needed to be done to have the sponsors on board, to have the partners on board, to ensure that Tobago students played a critical role in the 2026 Mindstar Spelling Bee competition. And we want to say a special congratulations this morning going out to Kylie Charles from Bishop's High School, who placed first place in the national finals for the Form 1 category of the spelling bee. So she would have definitely gone and flown that flag for Bishop's High School high at the finals and came out successful. As we wrap up our discussion this morning, tell us about where we go from here as it pertains to further competition, further participation, expanding, more partnerships, how persons can be a part of what's happening.
Yes, so thanks for that question. So A.L. Williams is not just about a spelling bee alone. We have a lot of other competitions. So coming up on the 9th of October, we have Max Up National Jeopardy competition, where we engage students in the essay at the essay level from standard 3 to standard 5 in a team. So schools versus teams, each other in a team of 4. And for the secondary school, we would have from 3 to 5 students in a team versus each other. And also Tobago is always a part of what I am doing. So I have, given that information to the SSG's office, so Tobago schools could be on board. And when it comes to the spelling bee and tech park, many principals suggested let's divide it. Just have the Mindstar National Primary School competition by itself and the National Secondary School by itself, because this performances like Sir Hansel, it has inspired some of the students who were supporters. They tell you after, I want to do this next time. And I was very happy. My phone has been ringing up to this morning. A parent message, are you doing any more spelling bee? Are you doing anything for the vacation time? I want my daughter to get a chance to be there. And this is the impact that I really wanted. I even have school principals saying, because of this, I'm doing a spelling bee at my school, because it's a ripple effect. People say, oh, well, it's just the students who are very intelligent getting opportunity. No. When we have this being expanded into the schools, every child who gets that word list in their class, from primary school to secondary school, they also have a chance to learn something new. Even if they get it correct or they get it right, they would still be able to learn a new word, a meaning, the definition, the parts of speech, how to use it in a sentence. So it becomes very meaningful. And this is the impact and the vision that I really wanted. Not just a spelling bee, and you just celebrate the winners, but the impact with the schools in both Trinidad and Tobago, and having children having that zeal to want to. So next year, please God, we're going to do it in a team. So not just one person. You will have to have more chairs here, Chanel.
Right, understood. And as we wrap our discussion this morning, is there anything that you want to say to our viewers looking on, to some of the students who would have participated, or the parents that ensured that they would have signed up their kids, and the teachers that participated in the competition?
Yes, I just want to say to the Tobago audience, remind your child that they can do all things through Christ who strengthens them, and that we have to teach our children never to give up. We have to teach them to strive for excellence. The support of the teacher is always very powerful, and teachers encourage them. Don't limit our children. Sky is the limit for them. And for the parents, make time for your children or your child. Your influence is very powerful. Your support, it does something very thrilling to a child, that it stirs that pride in them, that my parent is there and you are their biggest supporters. So I want to encourage you, don't let your resources limit you. Especially July, August is coming. Fine if it's camps to send them to, let them learn a new skill. Don't limit the children, because you'll be surprised. Just as they were surprised on Wednesday, 13th May in 2026 at SAPA, they were surprised how well these children could do and how they can continue to strive for excellence. I just want to encourage everyone to continue to strive for excellence, especially among our young persons. Support them in every positive way, because they need that.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much, Adana. Sir Hansel, again, congratulations to you on, your success at the Tobago level and placing third in the national finals as well, despite some of the challenges that you would have had. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a productive day.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.